Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander Score studio. Welcome to the show. Okay, it finally happened. The, well, potentially biggest spoiler from the entire set for many people out there. One that we've been waiting for ever since the teasers came out. Let's jump into it. Call the Spirit Dragons. What's their phone number? Enchantment for 5 mana, 1 of each color. That's right, Wooburg. Dragons you control indestructible. Now, if we just stopped there, this would probably already see play because, well, Dragon Tribal is one of the most popular, if not, I believe it is the most popular tribe out there right now. It's incredibly popular. It's very powerful. It's got incredibly powerful commanders built around it, and most of them, sorry, Miriam, or however you say your name, are 5 color, especially the Dragon, one of the most popular commanders of all time. So protecting your entire team of dragons seems like a great idea because, yeah, you can build up a great board presence and just dominate your opponents. And if they just have, regular wraths that can't deal with it, then all of a sudden you're like, oh, yeah, they're just going to destroy you. Haha. That being said, though, there's another part to this card. At the beginning of your upkeep, for each color, put a counter on a dragon you control of that color. If you put +1 counters on 5 dragons, this way you win the game. So this is written in a very specific way, which makes sense compared to like a Coalition Victory, which Wizards still should unban. That being said, compared to that, Coalition Victory is like, hey, every color, and then essentially you could just have one creature that just does all that. So the way that this works essentially is, yeah, no, you need like 1 dragon of each color, essentially, basically. You can obviously have crossover if you have like, oh, I've got the Dragon out there, and I've got this other dragon. This one, has green and this color. Okay, as long as you have 5 colors represented across all 5 of your dragons separately, then you get there and then you win the game. So it isn't the, I wouldn't say easiest, win condition of all time when it comes to alternative win conditions. That being said, it's not all that tough either, and I'm pretty sure there are certain cards out there like, everything is every color. I'm sure that's got to exist somewhere, right? My brain's just not working as to which card that would be. That being said, yeah, this is not only just an absurdly good enchantment already when it comes to just, oh, okay, put this down, protect my entire team. There's only so many ways to make your team indestructible out there just permanently, and this is one of them. I mean, like Eldrazi Monument comes to mind, and that one has, well, an upside with flying as well, I think, and +1/+1, but also a downside you have to sacrifice things. This is just like, no, by the way, your team, just indestructible. Don't worry about it. Also, this is on enchantment, which is one of the hardier types of permanents out there. Harder to deal with generally than most things. And, yeah, you also have an alternative win condition. Even if you aren't winning the game with it, it can still help you out, of course, just getting extra counters on your dragons throughout the game until you get to those 5 different color dragons or whatnot, and then you just happen to win. So yeah, I can definitely see this one being a very popular card because, again, Dragon Tribal is incredibly popular. I can also see it being a very expensive card because, again, this is Mythic, and again, even without that alternative win condition, it's gonna see play there. And I guess I need to also mention that, like, yeah, Changeling decks out there could consider this too. Like the, every tribal kind of deck could consider this as well. If you've got a Masquerade Nexus in play, congratulations! All your dragons are dragons and they're indestructible, and there you go. And also you can probably pretty easily win with alternative win condition as well. Yeah, just overall a very solid card. One that, again, many players were waiting for. And, yeah, it did not disappoint. So if you've got a Dragon Tribal deck, definitely consider this one, depending on the price, because my gosh, it's going to be expensive. Okay, here we go. So, jumping back into things after a slight water break needed. Nature's Rhythm, I already actually did an episode on this one because this one was leaked. There hasn't been too many leaks actually during this season, but this is one of them. If you haven't seen my episode on that, make sure you check that out for my, thoughts on it. But, yeah, if you haven't read it, go ahead and read it. There you go. Okay, let's move on now. Sun Pearl Kirin, a 2/1 Kirin Flash and Flying for 2 mana and white. When this creature enters, return to one other target non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand. It was a token, draw a card. So, I mean, that's actually kind of nice too because, yeah, it is kind of the evolution of the White Mane Lion, but without the without the brokenness of White Mane Lion. This can actually bounce itself. Obviously, if you have like 2 things that can bounce each other, then sure. But yeah, basically it is, okay, I can throw this thing into play. It can save one of my other creatures, or again, non-land permanent, any non-land permanent essentially you have. So yeah, if someone's targeting something, save it. Great, good for you. That being said, it also is flexible in that, like, oh, like, if this token is going to die in combat anyways, or if I really need to draw a card, I can just bounce a token back to my hand, which obviously the token just goes away permanently, and then I get to draw a card instead. So it is flexible. I like that. I like that a lot. Next up, Channel Dragonfire. Not sure why this one's so blurry. My apologies. Sorcery for a single red mana, 2 damage to any target. You can also harmonize it as well by casting onto your graveyard and tapping something for power. So basically, 2 damage and then 2 damage again. Or, yeah, basically, tap a creature that's got power 5 and pay 3 mana in total for 4 damage. Probably more of a limited card. Next up, Dragon's Prey. Instant for 3 mana in total in black, but it's going to cost 2 more to cast if it targets a dragon, destroy a target creature. Hilarious, that's 2 more to cast. Definitely a limited card. It's like, yeah. All right. Oh my gosh, that thing's huge. I need to, get rid of that dragon. Okay. Next up, Unending Whisper. This is a very cool design. Source for a single blue mana, draw a card, harmonize for 5 and a blue. So basically, like, draw a single card for a mana. You know, again, like a cantrippy type deck, like a spellslingery type deck, a storm type deck might want to consider it, because you can also then just cast it out of your graveyard. Probably for just a single mana. Again, if you've got a creature power 5, then there you go. You can just cast for a single mana and, draw 2 cards for 2, basically. Next up, Lightfoot Technique. Instant for 2 mana in white. Put a counter target creature, gains flying and indestructible until end of turn. Cool. Again, when it comes like these, like, 2 mana protect something spells, unless you really care about counters or really care about, like, giving something flying, there's better ways to protect something at 1 mana, generally, when it comes to, like, indestructibility, typically. And if you're paying 2 mana, generally, you want to protect more things or get more value out of it. Okay, next up. Bewildering Blizzard. Instant for 6 mana in total in blue. Draw 3 cards. Creatures probably control get -3/-0 until end of turn. Yeah, this is probably more of a limited card. I guess very specific, like, big draw decks, like, maybe with, like, a lot of, like, cost reducers out there could help with this. It is nice that you're like, okay, like, kind of like a mini fog, but typically you'd rather just have, like, your card draw either cost less, or you'd rather have it draw you a bit more. So, yeah, that's 3. If it was, like, at 4, you'd be like, okay, maybe, but maybe, no. All right, next up. Songcrafter Mage, just on that loot. Is that a loot? I don't know, just going crazy with it. 3/2 Human Bard to Flash for 3 mana in Teamer. When this creature enters target, insert short card in your graveyard, gains Harmonized till turn. Its Harmonized cost equals its mana cost. That is cool. Okay, so again, this is on ETB, so keep in mind, since there isn't a cast trigger requirement to it, very easily use and abuse it in Blink decks. Absolutely. Use and abuse it a lot. Could be quite fun. And being able to say, hey, that card in my graveyard basically has flashback plus, kind of in a way. That's kind of how I see Harmonize, where it's like, oh yeah, I can flash it back, but also I can just utilize a creature, reduce its cost, which is huge. Yeah, you can do a lot of really cool things with that. Again, like, you have a creature that's got an absurd amount of power. I mean, just Yargle Multani's not in these colors, but there you go. Yargle Multani comes to mind, like 18 power, tap. All right, X spell, yes, have fun with that. So, yeah, being able to utilize this, again, for, like, big spells out of your graveyard, you can do a lot of cool things with that. Again, you can kind of just, like, even cast one of those X spells earlier with, like, a minimal expectation, and then later utilize this, have it come into play, and then go, oh, yeah, tap a giant creature for a huge effect. Absolutely cool. And, of course, again, use and abuse that ETB. Okay, outside of the brand new spoilers, there were some spoilers that, well, this spoiler season has been kind of tumultuous for me, so I haven't been able to get to every single one when they've come out, and so I'm working backwards now at this point. That being said, someone I really want to highlight, though, Mistrise Village. If you haven't seen this one, like I hadn't seen it, my gosh, this is gonna be expensive. I think I already saw it's at least around $20 right now, again, for pre-orders. That being said, it might even be more than that at some point. This land enters tapped unless you control a mountain or forest. Tap for a blue, pay a blue, tap. The next spell you cast this turn can't be countered. So this is a new style of land where it's like, okay, cool, yeah, if you're playing like Teamer, you've got a pretty decent chance of having a mountain or forest in play at some point, or pretty early even. You can have this come into play untapped, which is quite nice. Or 5 color, I guess I should say as well, or 4, but still, Teamer. Yay, good for you. But yeah, that is disgusting, just having to pay a single blue mana to say, hey, you know what? Yeah, the next spell is just uncounterable. Gross. I mean, technically it's like, okay, it is 1 mana, but it's basically 2, because you have to tap the land 2 for the effect, and it can't tap for mana then instead. But still, being able to say, hey, next spell uncounterable, and this is repeatable, and it's any spell, it's not just like an instant or sorcery, no, it's like, no, any spell, literally. So again, a combo deck obviously is going to want to utilize a card like this because it's just not taking up a spot in your deck at all, and it protects your combo, being like, yeah, okay, cool, yeah, that spell's free now. Or not free, but, you know, uncounterable. There are certain ways, like, like a raw man could still get around that basically, but still, most things is basically uncounterable. This is crazy good for a land. Control strategy, you're going to want to consider it as well. Yeah, just a very solid land, again, that can just enter untapped and still do a lot of work for you. Gross. Moving on. Yeah, this is a cycle. And I don't mean to kind of downplay the rest of them, but I think the blue one's going to be the best and the most sought after. But here we go. The other ones are pretty good, too. Quarry Mountain Monastery enters the battlefield. Tap unless you control a plains or island. Tap 3 red, pay 4 mana in total. Tap exile top card of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. So again, it's the end of your next turn, which is nice. So you do hit like a full extra turn cycle to utilize that card. Versus like, oh, okay, I used all this mana. Basically, again, 4+1, this land tapping, so it's 5. I'm like, oh, top card of my library, I can't use it. Oh no. It is play, do keep that in mind as well. So yeah, you can play a land with it, which is great. But yeah, if you need that extra turn to be like, oh yeah, I got mana for it next turn, then great, good for you. It's again like free, not free, but again like a utility land that gives you additional card advantage. Temporary card advantage, but still quite good. Next up, we've got Dulkovin Encampment, if I said that right. Again, exact same thing. Enter battlefield, tap, let's control a swamp or mountain, basically. Tap for a white, pay 3 in total tap. When you attack this turn, create 2 1/1 red warrior creature tokens that are tapped and attacking, sacrifice beginning of the next end step. Now, again, this is one where it is like temporary extra attackers, which is nice, though obviously there are certain decks that can make that permanent if you've got like Sundial the Infinite kind of, shenanigans or whatnot, or, the new Zurgo. That being said, also, if you've got any kind of a creature token producing deck that's like, oh yeah, I've got token doublers in there, Annoy Procession, the new Elspeth, etc., or your talk, cool, yeah, you're making extra tokens, you get to keep those extra tokens. They don't have the whole sacrifice at the end step thing. So essentially, if you got any kind of token doublers, token triplers, this is a crazy good land for you, because not only are you getting the benefits from those, 2 red warriors that are out there, but you get extra as well that stick around. Keep in mind as well, this also can be very good for aristocrat style decks too. You're making 2 creatures that come into play and they're going to be attacking. You don't really care about attacking too much aristocrat usually, but you care about things dying, and you're getting creature token fodder for you, which is great again on a land. That's quite a solid card. And also like go wide strategies that is like care about the number of creatures and number of creatures attacking or creatures entering. Yeah, you can do a lot with this. Next up, Great Arashan City, a land. Again, enters tap unless you got a forest or plains. Tap for a black, pay 2 mana in total tap. Exile a creature card from your graveyard. Create a 1/1 white spirit creature token. Yeah, I mean, this one's kind of, I'm not going to say lackluster, but compared to some of the other ones, like, it's kind of, I'd put, like, right now, out of the rankings of the 4 that we've seen, blue way on top, then probably white, and then probably red, and then probably this so far. It's not bad. I'm not trying to say it is bad at all. I am saying that it's a little more limited. It is not bad for, again, like, let's say an aristocrat style deck that doesn't care about the graveyard, really. Like, okay, like, I don't care about getting things back, because you have to get rid of creature cards specifically. If it was any card in your graveyard, that'd be a bit better, because it's like, oh yeah, Evolving Wilds in my graveyard, don't care, I'll exile it. But since it's creatures specifically, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to get rid of my Reassembling Skeleton out of my graveyard, okay? So this is good for, again, creature token producing decks, for aristocrat style decks, decks that don't care about, again, creatures in your graveyards that you actually want to get back. So do keep that in mind. It's a solid card, absolutely. I'm not trying to downplay it, but it is one where it's like, because it's creature specifically, there's just certain decks out there that are going to be like, no, thank you, no. Next up, Hitch to the Village. This one is the green version, obviously. Tapped unless you control an island or swamp. Taps for a green, pay 4, tap, surveil 2. Okay, this one is probably down there with the black one, in my opinion. Again, your views might differ, and that's completely fine. It depends on the deck. It really does. Like, all of these are just kind of like, it really depends on the deck on which better than the other one, except for the blue one, which is probably just objectively the best, and Wizard just tends to do that sometimes. We're like, all of them are equal, but this one's way better for no reason. Yeah, blue mage, cool, good for you. Usually it's green that gets all the benefits. Anyways, Surveil 2. So Surveiling 2 is quite nice. It is, again, not card advantage, but it is card selection. And also it can kind of be card advantage in certain decks that can play with the graveyard. Again, like a Muldrotha deck's like, hey, things went in the graveyard. Huh, cool, I can play them. Good for me. Yeah, so Surveil 2, quite nice. Again, any kind of a deck that can benefit whenever you're milling yourself, or like a self-mill strategy or a reanimator strategy, you might want to consider this one as well. One specifically that care about surveilling and, getting extra benefits from that too, obviously. Or top of the library manipulation decks can consider this as well. It's really interesting that this one is in green. Like, I feel like Surveil, like, it's not really, to me, it doesn't scream green, but yeah, it's good. Anyways, A very, very interesting land, one that can definitely have an impact. Moving on, though, Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon. Hey, dragon players out there, you get even more fun. Tap for a colorless, tap at one of any color spell to cast a dragon spell or an omen spell. Dragon players are like, yes, dragons, more dragons, dragons. Pay 4, tap, sacrifice land, choose life for a dragon card, reveal, put your hand, then shuffle. Yeah, that's a very good land for dragons. It's probably going to be pretty expensive as well. Obviously, it is a bit more limited when it comes to like casting basically any spell outside of omens. I mean, your omens, you might not just like shove a bunch of omens in the deck. That might not happen. What might happen with this, though, is essentially, yeah, okay, it can't help you with like a rampant growth, except unless you already have like the green source, but it can help you with literally any dragon, which is huge. Again, if you got a dragon deck, you probably have like 30 plus dragons in the deck. On top of that, it is a great tutor that's just sitting around and being like, what do I need? Oh, yeah, that dragon? Okay. I go tutor that dragon. I win the game. Yay! Technically, it could be a combo card as well. I mean, like Blade Wing Risen has some combos as well. But yeah, there are certain dragons that you definitely want to go tutor for and be like, yeah, okay, cool. I just changed the game with this giant, massive dragon. So it's going to be popular. It's probably going to be pretty expensive as well. Okay, last break. Now, outside of those lands that I highlighted, there's also some other cards that well, again, I'm catching up on in spoiler season as well, and you might be too. Here we go. Auroral Procession. Very cool artwork on this one. Instant for 2 mana in Simic. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. It is more, again, specific on the pips, but technically better regrowth, essentially. You don't typically see that. So, yeah, that's quite good. Regrowth at 2 mana, getting something back. There's also, like, 3 mana regrowth that had seen play at some point, too, but, like, yeah, now we got a 2 mana instant speed one. Yes, it's a bit more specific, but quite good. A very good card. If you've got regrowth effects in your deck, if you like getting things back out of your graveyard, definitely consider this one. Moving on. Aegis Sculptor, a 2/3 Bird Wizard flying award 2 for 4 mana in blue. Beginning of your upkeep, you may exile 2 cards in your graveyard. If you do, put a count on this creature. More of a limited card. Next up, Agent of Kotis, a 2/1 Human Rogue for 2 mana in blue. Renew it by exiling it from your graveyard and paying that mana cost. Put 2 counters onto our creature, active on a sorcery. More of a limited card. I guess a rogue deck could maybe consider it, but probably not. Next up, Abzan Devotee, a 2/1 Dog Cleric, because that's a thing, for 2 mana in black. You can pay to filter your mana to white, black, or green only once each turn, though. Come on, Wizard. Stop with the limiting of those things. Let Johnny's Johnny. There's obnoxious things we can do with that if you don't limit it in that way. And then by paying 2 and a black, return this card from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, more of a limited card because they don't let Johnny's Johnny. Let us activate abilities an infinite number of times for no reason, okay? Please? Come on. Next up, Attuned Hunter, a 3/3 Human Ranger Trample for 3 mana in green. Whenever one of our cards leave your graveyard during your turn, put a +1 counter on this creature. Yeah, more of a limited card. I mean, it is one definitely that can get quite large. Again, one or more cards leave your graveyard during your turn, put a counter on it. If you have a deck specifically built around, like, using and abusing, getting things out of your graveyard, and it's not just, like, all at once, it's, like, individually, you can make this hit really hard. Is it worth slotting in those decks just as a heavy hitter? Probably not. But depending, you know, you might have a deck that's built around that. Cool. Next up, Awaken the Honored Dead. We've got a Saga, and this one is in Sultai. The first lore counter short target non-land permanent. Nice! For 3 mana, not too bad already. Mill 3 cards. Nice! If you want to be milled. And then the third one, you may discard a card. When you do, turn target creature or land from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, I mean, that's just solid as well. So, I mean, like, the nice thing is, like, already you just had 3 mana destroying a non-land permanent. Like, any non-land permanent, you're already getting, you know, almost enough amount of value out of this, essentially. Obviously, if you can blink this, gross. If it's in a Saga deck, gross. You can do some really cool things with it as well. Yeah, quite cool. Next up, Abzan Monument Artifact for 2. When this artifact enters, search your library for a basic plain, swamp, or forest card reveal, put your hand, then shuffle. And by paying 4 mana in total, tap, sacrifice it, create an XX white spirit creature token where X degrades toughness on creature control, active on sorcery. I mean, maybe for a toughness tribal deck, it could definitely be something that's considered. It's one where, yeah, just like at a base level, like some, no offense to newer players, but newer players sometimes can conflate cards like this where it's like, okay, I have, you know, this card which gets me a land, but it's not ramping you. It is ensuring that you hit the land drop, which is nice, but it's not ramping you. So, like, this versus ramping growth, like, obviously there's no comparison to the two. So, yes, it is nice in that aspect. if you have a toughness tribal deck where you're like, okay, this could be like a good way to fix my mana early and then also be like a big heavy hitter later, sure, absolutely. I mean, again, that could be a very good thing. It does cost 6 mana in total basically to do that though, but you are also getting, a land out of it too, and you can spread that out, across 2 turns. It is an interesting card, but yeah, let's move on. And then finally, Anafenza, Unyielding Lineage, a 2/2 Spirit Soldier with Flash and First Strike. Out of nowhere, First Striking for 3 mana in white. Whenever another non-token creature control dies, Anafenza endures 2. Put 2 counters on it or create a 2/2 white Spirit Creature token. Interesting. So, with this one, yeah, I mean, like, as a commander, yeah, you can do some pretty crazy things with this. You're not exactly in the proper color combination to really take the most advantage out of it, because you're in mono white. But, yeah, I mean, again, just getting a bunch of non-token creatures in play and sacrificing them and making a bunch of spirits and then sacrificing them. You can do like an aristocrat style. Yeah, there's only so many things you can do with that, though, in mono white, because you kind of don't really have a lot of the Blood Artist effects, or like any of them really. But yeah, you can do a lot of cool things with it, or you can just be like, okay, I get a bunch of creatures in play, they've got a bunch of, like, ETBs or death triggers or whatnot, I sacrifice them, I make Anafenza absolutely massive as well. Yeah, you can do some cool things with that too. So yeah, it's a very interesting concept, absolutely, and yeah, you can go a couple different directions with it. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on it, and of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.